ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम। We are studying the fourth sutra of the Brahma Sutras, and we are studying Shankaracharya's, Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya's commentary on that sutra. The Mimamsaka Purva Paksha, or the opponent, has said that the knowledge of Brahman is also a result of contemplation on Brahman. So it is comparable, it is on a par with result of Vedic rituals, result of actions performed because of its prescription in the Vedas. This is being now refuted by Shankaracharya. He says, Nacha idam Brahma Atmaikatva Vijnanam Sampad Rupam. Nacha idam. Further, this Brahma Atmaikatva Vijnanam, this Vijnanam, this realization or this knowledge, this certain knowledge of what? Certain knowledge of Brahma Atma Ekatva, the identity, Ekatva, identity of Brahman and Atman. The certain knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman, idam na sampad rupam. This is not of the nature of contemplation. Sampad in this context means that which is imagined and contemplated upon. A mental construct, a mental notion, a thought. A thought means an idea, a concept. That is what is called sampad. So sampad, an idea or concept which is meditated upon. An idea or concept which is meditated upon. That is sampad. So this Brahma Atma Ekatva Vijnanam is not sampad. It is not a concept. It is not an idea. Yatha, for example, Anantam Vai Manaha, Anantaha Vishve Devaha, Anantam Eva Satena Lokam Jayati. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is said. Anantam Vai Manaha. Vai, indeed, the mind is infinite. Anantaha Vishve Devaha. So the deities called Vishve Devaha, they are also infinite. Anantameva Satena Lokam Jayati. Anantameva Satena Lokam Jayati. So Anantameva Lokam. Indeed, this Lokam, this world is infinite. And Tena Salokam Jayati. He or that person conquers the world by its being Ananta, by its true nature. So here the idea is that the mind is infinite, Vishve Deva deities are infinite, so the world is conquered because of that, and the world is also infinite. nacha adhyasa rupam. Also, the idea is not of adhyasa. So Brahma, Atma, Ekatva, Vijnana, the realization or the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman, they are not of the nature of adhyasa, superimposition. So it is not that the nature of Atman is being superimposed on Brahman, or that the nature of Brahman is being superimposed on Atman. It is not so. In reality, Brahman and Atman are they are non-different, they are identical. So it says, it is said in the Chandogya Upanishad, Yatha, for example, it is said in the Chandogya Upanishad, Mano Brahma iti upasita. So this is an example of superimposing or kind of thinking of something else to be something else. So that is told in the Chandogya Upanishad. Mana Brahma iti upasita. Mind has to be contemplated upon as Brahman. So contemplate on mind as Brahman. So that is superimposition. Then in Chandogya Upanishad itself it is said, Aditya Brahma iti adesha. So the sun is Brahman. Aditya Brahma iti adesha. This is the instruction. So the sun is Brahman, this is the instruction. So meditate on the sun as Brahman, that's the idea. Meditate on sun as Brahman, Surya, sun as Brahman. So these are all superimposition, where you think of something as something else, the superimposition. Then comes, so here, iticha mana adityadishu brahma drishta adhyasa, brahma drishti adhyasa. So in this manner, on mind, mana adityadishu, on mind, sun, etc., brahma drishti adhyasa. The idea, brahma drishti, the idea of Brahman has been superimposed. The idea of Brahman has been superimposed. So the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman is not such superimposition. It is not that you think of mind as Brahman or that you think of sun as Brahman. It is not like that. It is the truth. It is the truth that Brahman and Atman are identical. Na api, also, it is not also Vishishta Kriya Yoga Nimittam. Also the knowledge of Brahman, the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman is not because of Vishishta Kriya Yoga Nimittam. It is not Nimittam because of Vishishta Kriya Yoga. Yoga, association with Vishishta Kriya, a specific action or specific activity. So it is also not that the knowledge of Brahman and the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman is achieved by performing a particular action. It is not like that. Vayur Vava Samvargaha. So there also example is given where a particular action is necessary to get a particular knowledge. For example, Vayur Vava Samvargaha, Chandogya Upanishad. The air, Vayu, is Samvarga, is the absorber. Prano Vava Samvarga, Prana or vital energy is the absorber. Then Itivat, in this manner. So in this manner, it is not possible to say that the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman, Brahma Atma Aikya Vijnana, that is dependent on any action. That is not dependent on any action. Also, Napi Ajya Vekshanadi Karmavat Karma Anga Samskara Rupam. Also, it is not samskara karma anga samskara rupam. It is not of the nature of karma anga samskara. Samskara, purification of a karmanga. Karmanga means a subsidiary act, subsidiary to what is prescribed in the Vedas. So what is prescribed in the Vedas? Something that is subsidiary to that is called karmanga. Samskara means the purification of that subsidiary thing. Purifying a subsidiary of Vedic sacrifice or Vedic ritual. A subsidiary, something which is ancillary, auxiliary, it is necessary to be done to perform a particular Vedic ritual. That is what is here, karmanga samskara. So where does it happen, or where does this karmanga samskara take place? Purification of subsidiary action. Purification of subsidiary action, subsidiary to a particular Vedic ritual. That is Ajya Vekshanadi Karmavat. What kind of example is this? Ajya Vekshanadi. Vekshana, to look. Ajya. Ajya means ghee. So when Vedic rituals are performed, all the oblations or offerings are put in the ritual fire or sacrificial fire, and that all those offerings are given through ghee. So ghee has to be put into the sacrificial fire. When ghee is put, the method of doing that is one has to look at the ghee. One has to look at the ghee like that and then say Swaha. That is generally how it is done. So looking at the ghee is necessary. It is an integral part of that any Vedic ritual. Any Vedic ritual. So that is what called Ajya Vekshanadi. Vekshanadi means such actions which are karma anga samskara rupam. So they are of the nature of purifying the subsidiary activity which are required to perform a particular Vedic ritual. Also, further, Shankaracharya explains this. He says, Sampadadi rupehi Brahma Atmaikatva Vijnane Abhyupagamyamane Tattvamasi Aham Brahmasmi Ayam Atma Brahma Itieva Madinam Vakyanam Brahma Atmaikatva Vastu Pratipadana Paraha Pada Samanvayaha Pidiyeta. Sampadadi rupehi. Suppose abhyupagamyamane, on the accepting or on accepting abhyupagamyamane, sampadadi rupe, as a form of sampad and so on, sampad, etc. Sampad means here contemplation. So as a form of contemplation, if we were to accept Brahman, the knowledge of the non-identity of the non-separateness, that is the identity of Brahman and Atman, if we were to accept that to be like Sampad, that is to be a mental visualization, then what will happen? Then Brahmatmaikatva Vijnane Abhyupagamyamani. If we think of the Vijnana realization or the knowledge of the oneness or identity of Brahman and Atman as a form of mental visualization, contemplation, then what will happen? Tattvamasi, the Mahavakya, which says Tattvamasi, you are that, Chandogya Upanishad, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that, I am Brahman, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I am Atma Brahma, this Atman is Brahman, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Ityeva Madinam Vakyanam, of all these sentences, Brahma Atmaikatva Vastu Pratipadana Paraha Pada Samanvaya Pidiyeta. The Pada Samanvaya, the arrangement, or the Pada Samanvaya means the harmony, Samanvaya harmony of Pada, of the connection, grammatical connection between words. Grammatical connection between words. That's Pada Samanvaya. That's called Pada Samanvaya. So if one were to accept that the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman are nothing but a form of contemplation or a form of visualization, then the Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma, these Mahavakyas, Iti eva Madinam Vakyanam, of these Mahavakyas, Brahma Atma Ekatva, the identity of Brahman and Atman, Vastu Pratipadana Paraha, the Vakyas which are dedicated or which have the purpose to Pratipadana, explain Vastu, explain the reality, Vastu, explain the existing reality, or explain the identity of Atman and Brahman. Such Pada Samanvaya, such harmony of grammatical harmony between words, Pidiyeta, that would be violated. So if we were to say that no, the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman can be attained only when you mentally visualize it or you do some kind of contemplation. If we were to say this, then it will be problematic because the words with which we are saying this, those words, they don't at all conform to the words like Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, or I am Atma Brahma. So in the Upanishads or in the Vedas, such statements have been given. And by studying the grammatical connection between words in these statements, we can easily come to the conclusion that these statements are given in a grammatically coherent form. But Vidyate Hridaya Gantihi Siddhyante Sarva Samshayaha. So even in the Upanishads, the Mundaka Upanishad, it is said, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi, the knot in the heart. That is the knot which is tying that which is sentient, that is Chit, and it is tying it with that which is insentient, which is not having sentience or which is not having consciousness. Now again, what is consciousness is a big problem. So we can also say inert and conscious. So that which does not have sentience, does not have consciousness, has got knotted with that which has consciousness, has sentience. So that is called Chit Jada Granthi. Chit is that which is sentient, which is conscious. Jada is that which is non-sentient, which is not conscious. So this Granthi, this naughty problem, Knotty, naughty problem, not Naughtsty. Sometimes this problem can become like that also. So naughty problem, this Chit Jada Granthi problem, this problem, when it is cleared, Bidhyate Hridaya Granthi, when that Granthi, that knot between consciousness and that which is not conscious, when that happens, Bidhyate Hridaya Granthi, when that knot is attacked, Bidhyate, it is cut, knot is cut, then what happens? Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha. All the samshaya means uncertainty regarding one's true nature, all of them are chidyante, they are thrown away, they are also cut. So when Hridaya Granthi is cut, all the uncertainty or all the mental constructs of us being unreal, that is whatever uncertainty regarding one's being Atman, that will totally go away. Sarva Samshayaha Chidyante. That will totally go away. Totally it will go away. And Ityeva Madini, in all these sentences, Ityeva Madini, Avidya Nivritti Phala Shravanani Uparuddhyeran. Avidya Nivritti Phala Shravanani. So in all these sentences, what are we hearing? Shravanani, that is the Vedas say. What do they say? Avidya Nivritti. They say that Avidya Nivritti is the phala, the fruit of the knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman is getting rid of avidya. So the root cause is avidya. And avidya nivritti, or the removal of avidya, is the phala, is the fruit or the result, as told by the Shruti texts or the Vedas. So Shravanani. Uparuddheran, that would be then contradicted. If we were to accept that Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahman, all these Mahavakyas which are found in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, if we were to contend that all this can be attained by contemplation, if we were to hold a position like that, then it will become illogical. Because why it will become illogical? Because the clear grammatical meaning got from these sentences would have to be changed. Pidiyeta, that would have to be violated. Pada samanvayaha pidiyeta, that would have to be violated. And we don't want such a violated meaning. We want straightforward meaning. Also in the Mundaka Upanishad, just now I said, Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha. All the uncertainty regarding one's existence, that will go away. That will go away. Completely it will go away. When Hridaya Granthi is Bhidyate, when the Hridaya Granthi is removed, is cut. So here, Avidya Nivritti Phala Shravanani Uparuddheran. The phala, the fruit of all this exercise is to get rid of avidya or ignorance. Get rid of ignorance. That is the That is the fruit. But if we were to accept that all these knowledge of oneness of Brahman and Atman, that knowledge, if we were to accept that that is a knowledge brought about by mental visualization, then we will have, if we were to accept like that, then that will lead to absurd situation. That is, all the statements, whatever we have quoted now from the Upanishads, which are called Mahavakyas or great sentences, all these sentences will lose their context. They will lose their context of the identity of Atman and Brahman being true. Not only that, they will no more grammatically produce any sensible meaning, but other thing is that they are very clearly talking about avidya nivritti being the phala, the fruit of knowing the identity of Atman and Brahman. They are clearly talking about avidya being the phala, or the seed, or the fruit of avidya nivritti. Avidya nivritti is the phala of the knowledge of the unity of Brahman and Atman. So that is what is told here. So that would be contradicted. Uparuddharan, it would be contradicted. And so that cannot be contradicted, because Vedas, how can they be contradicted? So it is said, Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati means that the person who has known Brahman, who has realized Brahman, will become Brahman itself. So here we have to understand that when one says realization of Brahman, what actually happens is destruction of ignorance. What actually there happens is destruction of ignorance. So destruction of ignorance, whenever that happens, that is considered to be the phala, fruit of the fruit of this knowledge of identity of Brahman and Atman. So that's why it cannot be said to be mere meditation or contemplation. No. Brahma Veda, Brahma eva bhavati. So knowing Brahman, one becomes Brahman itself, because even if one does not know Brahman, one is Brahman itself. But the moment one knows Brahman, one sheds the puny nature, petty nature, in which one has got stuck. That is the body, mind, prana, buddhi, etc. So that's why when a person says, by knowing Brahman, one person becomes Brahman, that what does it mean? That before knowing Brahman, was that person something else? Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. So before Brahma was known, was that person something else? No. That person was all along Brahman. Only thing was not aware of it. So that is what is the meaning of that particular sentence. And with all these sentences, iticha evamadini tadbhava patti vachanani. Iticha evamadini, sentences like this, tadbhava apatti vachanani. It is all the vachana. Vachana means declarations, statements, proclaiming the tadbhavapatti, the self becoming tad. Tad means Brahman. Self becoming Brahman. Self becoming Brahman means self identifying with Brahman. If we were to take this also in Sampad, as Sampad, that is a mental visualization. If we were to say this also is a mental visualization, then what will happen? Sampadadi rupehi Brahma, no, here tad bhava apatti vachanani sampadadi rupatve na samanjasyena upapadyeran. So here also he is very clear. He is saying that if we were to take these sentences which talk about the self becoming Brahman, or in other words, the self being non-different from Brahman, identical with Brahman, then what we have to do is, if we were to say that this knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman is also a visualization, a meditation, if we were to say that na samanjasyena upapadyeran, then we cannot upapadyeran, we cannot make it logical. Na upapadyeran, we cannot make it logical. So that will not make any sense. It will not be sensible. How it will not be sensible? Samanjasyena, through harmony. So there will be no harmony in these sentences. So that will be not making any sense. Tasmat, therefore, na sampadadi rupam brahma atmaikatva vijnanam. Therefore, it is said that the Brahma atmaikatva vijnanam, the knowledge of the oneness, the knowledge of the identity of Atman and Brahman, the knowledge of the identity of Atman and Brahman, that is not sampadadi rupa. It is of not the nature of sampada or contemplation. So that is what is proven. Tasmat, therefore it is proven that the knowledge of the unity or of the identity or non-difference of Brahman and Atman, that is not based on any kind of mental visualization or mental contemplation. It's not sampad. Atah, therefore, consequently, what happens? Na purusha vyapara tanma, na purusha vyapara tantra. Atah na purusha vyapara tantra brahma vidya. This we have also seen earlier also. Purusha vyapara tantra na brahma vidya. So Brahma vidya is not something which is purusha vyapara tantra dependent on. Tantra here means dependent on. So it's not something which is dependent on purusha vyapara. Purusha vyapara means the transaction, literally speaking, vyapara, transactions of a purusha. Purusha means person. Purusha does not mean male. Purusha means person. So, purusha vyapara tantra na. So, therefore, we can conclude that Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman, is not dependent on purusha vyapara of a person, dependent on the activity of a person. It is not dependent on the activity of any person. Purusha vyapara, Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman, na purusha vyapara. It is not purusha vyapara tantra. It is not dependent upon. Tantra means it's not dependent upon. Tantra, dependent upon. So not dependent upon na purusha vyapara. Purusha means a person who is staying in a body. Puri. So in the Gita it is said Navadware Pure Dehi, a body which has got 9 gates. So a person who is staying in the body is called Purusha. A person who is staying in a body, embodied Purusha. And that person, whatever that activity that person will do is called Purusha Vyapara. Any person's activity is called Purusha Vyapara. So when a person says that Purusha Vyapara Tantra, it does not require It does not require, or it requires, it does not require any dependence on a particular thing, but it is dependent on the activity of a person. That is Purusha Vyapara Tantra. For example, cooking, for example. Suppose you want to eat something, it depends on a person who will cook that, or who will gather that particular thing, who will procure for you that particular thing which you want to eat. So Purusha Vyapara Tantra. Because food will not come of its own. That is the logic. Food will not come of its own. So somebody has to prepare it, or somebody has to procure it. And so it is dependent on Tantra, dependent on Purusha Vyapara, the activity of a person. But it is not like that. Brahma Vidya, knowledge of Brahman is not like that. So that means this is a straightforward rebuttal, straightforward reply, very sharp and straightforward reply to Mimamsakas. Mimamsakas, they say that no, Brahma Jnana also is part of the Vedic ritual. Brahma Jnana comes when you meditate on Brahman. You perform the Vedic injunction, Srotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya. The Vedic injunction is like this. So you hear and get convinced, and then you so Mantavya, analyze it, and then Nididhyasitavya, contemplate upon it. So that is why the knowledge of Brahman is also the product of a particular Vedic ritual. This is the idea of the Mimamsakas, Purva Mimamsakas, and they are the opponent. So here Shankaracharya very directly says, look, it is not going to be dependent on a person, because it does not depend on a person. Why? Kim tarhi? Then what is it then? What is it then? Then the answer is Pratyakshadi Pramana Vishaya Vastu Jnanavat. So Brahma Jnana or Brahma Vidya, it is not dependent on any person, but what it is then? It is Pratyakshadi Pramana Vishaya Vastu Jnanavat. It is like the knowledge of Vishaya Vastu, knowledge of entities that are already existing. And these entities that are already existing, that is like Pratyakshadi Pramana Vishaya Vastu Jnanavat. Like the knowledge of entities already existing, got from, knowledge received from the means of knowledge, Pramana, means of knowledge, like Pratyaksha, perception, direct perception. So we see through our, we perceive through our 5 sense organs and 1 mind. So this is not like that. This particular knowledge is not like that. But of course it will be Pratyakshadi Pramana Vishaya Vastu Jnanavat. It will be like the knowledge attained from the objects by using means of knowledge or Pramana, like Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Anupalabdhi, Arthapatti, and Shabda Pramana. So it is like that. But that is not possible. So here it is like that, but that will not happen. Why? Because this is not dependent on any particular person. The knowledge of Brahman is not dependent on any particular person. Evam bhutasya. So, but this is Vastu Tantra eva. The clarification, it is not Purusha Tantra. Then the question is Kim Tarhi? It is Vastu Tantra. So the Vastu Tantra, why the example is given of direct perception of things through means of knowledge. The idea is, suppose somebody sees a red jar kept on a table. All other people also will see a red jar kept on the table, unless of course they have some problem with their sense organs or mind, etc. So then it is a thing which is not dependent on the person, but it is Purusha Tantra, Vastu Tantra eva. It is indeed dependent upon, or eva, it is indeed dependent only upon Vastu, the existing entity. So for example, there is a mountain, and the dependence, the existence of the mountain is dependent upon the mountain. Huge mountain, whether it is existing or not, is dependent on the mountain. It is already existing. Whereas whether on your plate dosa will come or not depends on the person who is cooking dosa. If that person does not like you, no dosa will come on your plate. So why? Because does not want to cook. Simple. So that is Purusha Tantra. And this is Vastu Tantra. If it is already there, already existing entity, then it will be there. So the knowledge of that entity does not depend on somebody doing something. The knowledge of the entity depends on that entity itself. If the entity is there, you will get the knowledge of that entity. So that is called Vastu Tantra, dependent on the entity, which is already existing. If it is not already existing, then there will be again Purusha Tantra. That means you have to do something and bring that into existence. But here it is already existing. And because it is already existing, that is the nature of Brahman. The nature of Brahman is that is Vastu Tantra. It is dependent on existing entity. Evam bhutasya brahmanah. So Brahman of this nature, tad jnanasya cha, also the knowledge of Brahman of this nature, na kayachit yuktya shakyah. This knowledge of Brahman, or Brahman and its knowledge, kayachit, by any yuktya, logic, by any logic, na shakya, is not possible to kalpayatum. Karyanu praveshaha kalpayatum na shakya. So by whatever logic, by no logic can it be proven that karyanu praveshaha, that there is a karyanu pravesha. Karyanu pravesha means there is a karyasya anupravesha, there is a it follows an activity. Anupravesha follows an activity. So it is not necessary. That is, the Brahman of this nature we have discussed by quoting different scriptural passages. So Brahman which is of this nature, Brahman which is of this nature, evam bhutasya brahmana. So Brahman of this nature, of that Brahman, what happens? Tad jnanasya cha, also that Brahman, and also its knowledge of Brahman. Na kayachit yuktya shakyah karyanu praveshah kalpayitum. So in that Brahman, by no logic is it possible to imagine karyanu praveshah. Karyanu praveshah means following after some work is done. That means that it is dependent on a particular action which has to be performed. That cannot be imagined. That cannot be even imagined. This is what is told here. So we'll see the other portion day after tomorrow. By this, mostly that the fact that there is no necessity to perform any action or contemplation or any subsidiary action to realize the identity of Brahman and Atman has been proven. That has been proven here very clearly. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.